Alright, so the next thing we want to look at is adjusting the levels. And I've got my two sections open so we can see what happens when we adjust the levels. And if I pick one of the levels, say over here in my section 2, it's going to give me a little blue dot over here that says 2D. You see that? The reason it's doing that is because if I zoom out, the crop box is actually cropped. That level line goes further out, and that crop box is cropping it off. And in order for us to see exactly what's available to the levels, I'm going to not crop this view. Okay, so I'm going to come down in my view control bar, and there's the do not crop view. So now I'm not cropping the view, but the crop region is still shown, so we can still see where that crop area is. It's just not cropping. Now if I pick the level, you'll get a 3D option. And so if I pick this white circle 3D and say I want it not to go all the way through, right? And I drag it over here to the right and let go. You see how it disappears over here? It's kind of like, what happened to it? Where'd it go? Well, basically what we did is we moved both of these, because they're locked, past the view range of this section, right? So this section is actually this section here. And so if I come in, and I'm going to use zoom in to do this, and I drag this back over on the other side, they're going to appear again. So again, these are not just markers, they're actually three-dimensional. There's a three-dimensional thing going on here that you need to be aware of. So I'm going to pull these level markers back over to the left, and if I select them again, you can actually click on that 3D and it'll do 2D. See how it's gone to 2D now? And if I select this other one and click it to 2D, you see how this lock comes up? That means I've switched both of them to 2D so they'll move at the same time. Now, if I left click on this blue dot and drag it over and let go, you'll notice that there's still a white dot over here that represents the 3D representation of that level, and that the 2D moves over just in this view, and that it stays the same over here. Okay, so again, left click on it, the 2D is the little blue dot, and the 3D is the big white dot. Okay, so now I can come over and I'm going to pick this guy and move him a little closer, maybe a little closer in there. Now the other thing I would recommend is, let's move him in so we have some kind of indication of where it is. Oh, that's pretty good. Is that these level markers, you can update these as well. So if you left click on one of these level markers, you'll see over in your properties dialog box, level 1/4 inch head. All of these are the type level 1/4 inch head. So if you click edit type over here, it's going to bring up a dialog box that's going to allow you to update these. So the color of the line itself, so this line, you could change it. Let's change it to a light gray. So if I apply, you can see that changes to a light gray. There's also the symbol. So you see this symbol, level head circle. If I go to the pull down, I can get rid of the bubble. So I can go to level head no bubble and apply. And now I've got that guy. Okay, so I might recommend you do that. Again, it's up to you how you want to list and use your annotation markers. So maybe I'll make sure that that's on the edge, and then you can come over and do the same thing to this guy. Right now, if I just go ahead and crop region, so if the region is cropped and I pick it, you automatically get a 2D there, right? So if I move this guy over just to the edge of that, we'll be fine. And then come in, and I'm going to uncrop. Let's do not crop. And then we'll pick this and move it over. Maybe we could move it over. See how close that is to the edge of that. right? Maybe move this guy out a little bit more so we're getting something like that. Okay, so make sure you adjust your levels as well. And that's it for this one.